William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.
Different arenas would be main events. It's a fight fan's dream, it's a promoter's dream. And it's all brought to you by Matchroom Boxing with Mr. Eddie Hearn, and our special sponsors William Hill Vegas, StubHub, Lonsdale, and the motion picture Creed in theaters everywhere on January 15th, starring Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone. And one of the fighters over my left shoulder happens to be here that's in the movie too. We'll talk about that later. So ladies and gentlemen, the main event. Just a few weeks ago in Dusseldorf, a member of the United Kingdom boxing captured the world heavyweight title, the unified title, the title that is recognized as the heavyweight championship of the world. So right here in London on Saturday night, two fighters will step into the ring, and it happens to be even better than anticipated because possibly down the road, the winner of this fight will fight the world heavyweight champion Tyson Fury in what probably could be the biggest fight in the history of British sports. So more about that later. It's going to be a great night of boxing, as I said, a stacked card from bottom to top, top to bottom. And here to tell you more about it, especially about our main event of the evening, is Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing.
Thank you, Mr. Buffer. As I said before, pleasure to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being in attendance today. For those who were with us, most of you, for our press conference earlier today, saw a wonderful back and forth from two great fights. Kevin Mitchell challenging Ismael Barroso for the WBA interim world title, and Chris Eubank Jr. against Spike O'Sullivan in the final eliminator for the WBA middleweight world title. Up here, it's a pleasure to be sitting with so many great fighters at different stages in their careers, former world champions, world title challengers, Olympic gold medalists, undefeated prospects. This show has it all. From 5 o'clock, we'll be live on Sky Sports Box Office, and as a fight fan, forgetting being a promoter, I cannot wait to get in that wonderful O2 arena with 17,000 people bustling from their seats and just enjoy a fantastic night of boxing. To introduce the table and the fighters on the table, a young man down on my left that shares a similar pedigree to the Olympic champion on my right, Luke Campbell, one of the most successful amateur fighters of all time, coming from Great Britain, defending his WBC title against Yvan Mendy from France. Yvan Mendy is a very, very tough competitor from France, French lightweight champion, had 12 great rounds with the WBC light welterweight champion Victor Postel, had 12 great rounds with the European champion Edis Tatley, and I think it's Luke Campbell's biggest test of his career so far as he looks to challenge for a world title in 2016. It gives me huge amounts of pleasure to welcome Paulie Malignaggi to this card. A late addition. I want to thank Al Heyman, of course, and Lou DiBella, as always, for bringing Paulie to this card. It's fantastic to see him back after so many great performances in the UK and in world boxing. And a fight against Antonio Moscatiello, who is here at reasonably short notice after Branko decided he didn't fancy the job against Paulie Malignaggi, and a totally different fight for Paulie Malignaggi on Saturday night. A much younger opponent, a much hungrier opponent, a bigger punching opponent, and someone with a lot more desire to score a huge scalp and victory on Saturday night. We really look forward to Luke Campbell and Paulie Malignaggi's big fights on Saturday. One of my potential fights of the night is, I think, one of the best fights in the Cruiserweight division, and that's Mateusz Masternak against Tony Bellew for the European Cruiserweight title. Two guys that are really almost knocking on the door of a world title shot in the division. Two guys that really didn't need to fight each other, but two guys that basically just wanted to have a great fight. And all of a sudden they come together for the European Cruiserweight title. Masternak has mixed with all of the greats in the Cruiserweight division. Tony Bellew, coming off the back of the Nathan Cleverly win, obviously joined Michael Buffer and Sylvester Stallone in the movie Creed. He was really looking for a big fight to close out the year. And this was a fight that, again, neither guy had to take. But Tony Bellew against Mateusz Masternak is an absolute war on Saturday night. We can't wait for that. Also welcome to Matthias Masternak's promoter, Nisse Sauerland, and Dave Coldwell. Tony Bellew's coach, will be hearing from them shortly. This main event is a wonderful fight. It's one that's been brewing for many, many years, stemming back to the amateur days in which the infamous crackly footage of Dillian White defeating and knocking down Anthony Joshua in the amateurs has stemmed towards one of the biggest fights, well, the biggest fight in Britain this year, and one of the biggest fights in Britain for many years. 17,000 tickets sold out in 3 hours just for the main event. If you were lucky enough to get a ticket for Anthony Joshua against Dillian White, after what we've built on this show and the undercard that's been put together, you should be very, very happy with that piece of paper in front of you. This is a fight for the British and Commonwealth heavyweight title. Two undefeated fighters, two huge punchers, two guys that don't particularly like each other, and a wonderful fight in the heavyweight division, which we see now, week in, week out, is continuing to flourish. We're going to hear now from all the guys at the table, and then I'm going to pass over to Adam Smith to ask a few questions. I'm going to start now with Luke Campbell. Luke, obviously a great night for you in Hull in August when you defeated Tommy Coyle in front of 12,000, outdoor stadium fight. And this fight, potentially your most dangerous yet.
Yeah, definitely it's the biggest test for me, but it's something I'm ready for. It's a step up that I can't wait to take, and you know, I work hard in the gym day in, day out, and I'm just excited to be on such a massive show like this and go out there and show everybody how good I am.
Obviously the lightweight division domestically on fire at the moment. Anthony Croller's great win against Darlis Perez for the world title a couple of weeks ago. Kevin Mitchell fighting for the interim world title. Ricky Burns with a good win. Flanagan, the world champion. Derry Matthews challenging him. I know you're eager to get into that mix in 2016.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I believe that lightweight is probably one of the best divisions in Britain at the minute. Like you say, you just mentioned all them fighters there, all great fighters, and it's you know, I'm excited to get amongst that and to create big fights and to get all the fans involved and just put a good show on, really.
Yvonne, you've mixed with some elite fighters in world boxing, and Luke Campbell is widely regarded as one of the best lightweights in the world. What do you expect going into this fight?
Bonjour à tous. Déjà, j'ai accepté ce combat parce que c'est un vrai défi pour moi. Et donc, j'ai envie de prouver au monde entier, j'ai envie de leur prouver le niveau que j'ai. Donc, voilà, j'ai envie de leur faire montrer que je suis aussi, que je peux tenir face à un mec comme Campbell et que voilà, je fais partie des meilleurs boxeurs au monde.
Dylan said that he accepts this fight and to show English boxing guys that he can beat Luke Campbell, and he can show over France that he has the worldwide level in boxing.
Thank you, Yvonne. Antonio Moscatiello, apologies if I haven't said that right. When I said it firstly, I did see the eyebrows go up a touch. You took this fight at relatively short notice, and a huge opportunity for you to fight Paulie Malignaggi on Saturday night.
Ho preso questa opportunità, ringrazio Poli anche di avermi dato questa chance, mio manager Christian. Ero già in allenamento per un match a Milano dove combatto di solito e ho sfruttato il momento, l'opportunità e sarò qua a dare il mio meglio.
First of all, I want to thank Poli for the opportunity, and of course all the parties involved in the promotion. He was supposed to fight in Milan in December anyway, a nice round contest. He took the opportunity because his opportunity to show to people knows his name, and he will do his best on Saturday.
Thank you. Paulie, it's great to have you back. I know you're very, very excited. Obviously a fight now which we just discussed 5 minutes ago, I think is a better fight for you, a more exciting fight for you. And I know you're looking to put in a great performance at the O2 on Saturday.
Yeah, it's always exciting to be able to come to these shores. You know, ever since I fought here in 2008, I wanted to come here, come back here, put on a better performance for the fans and for everyone. I kept my hair short this time, so guaranteeing myself that there will be no such problems. You know, obviously there was a lot of headaches, and potentially almost everything went up in flames for me, and the fight almost didn't happen. But you know, I've got to thank you, Eddie, and Metro Promotions. I've got to thank Al Heyman for continuing to work diligently, and obviously Christian at OP 2000 for continuing to work diligently to bring in Antonio, and a lot of respect to Antonio for taking this fight. This is not the first time Antonio Moscatello has to clean up Gianluca Branco's mess. He's done this before. Gianluca Branco did this before when he pulled out last minute against Leonard Bundu a couple of years ago, and Moscatello stepped in then and gave a good account of himself. So it's a hungry fighter. I don't know. I know what I'm dealing with. He's also a friend. I've actually sparred him in the past, and from that perspective, it's bittersweet. But at day's end, I was a bit ticked off at the way things worked out. You know, Branco, I felt like he waited till the headline broke before he pulled out. I felt like he used my name to get himself some headlines without the intention of ever actually doing the fight. The other day on Twitter, he was bashing about that the terms were never met. I know the terms. I know he was being severely overpaid for the fight. Al Heyman does not mess around. When he wants a fight made, he'll make sure he pays what he has to. So the terms were met. Then being that lie was called out on him today in the Italian press, he's going around saying that he had an injury a month ago and we all knew about this. I know I didn't know anything about it. I don't know what excuse he's going to come up with tomorrow, but at the end of the day, I've wasted almost my entire year chasing this guy. I was supposed to fight this guy in the spring. He pulled out with an injury before we ever announced it. So I went on to the Danny O'Connor training camp. From there, I got cut, and I ended up accepting the Danny Garcia fight. With that cut, I didn't get a lot of the sparring I needed in the Danny Garcia camp. No excuse. I still trained hard. It is what it is. And now I'm back in the same position, chasing the European title, and this guy did this to me again. So really a wasted year chasing this low-life loser, fake excuse for a fighter. And I'm sick of it, man. The only disappointment was that I wanted that European title, but the silver lining is I get to fight in front of these great fans here in the UK. I'm happy about that. I'm excited about that. I'm ecstatic about that. And I can't wait to hear how loud that crowd is going to be Saturday night. So I look forward to it.
Thank you, Paulie. It's great to have you here. To talk about the European Cruiserweight title fight, Nisse Sal and one half of the Salem brothers we've made some great fights with over the last couple of years, of course, most recently Arthur Abraham against Martin Murray. And you've got a couple of decent wins over us, and hopefully that will change on Saturday. But Nisse, a great fight.
Yeah, no, I mean, like you say, well, it's not very often when two fighters fight each other who, you know, they like to fight. They don't hide away from anyone. You know, they're both world class. Matthias is a former European champion, fought for the world title, and of course Tony comes with his own pedigree. Like you say as well, I mean, I think it's going to steal the show on Saturday. This is, you know, it's going to be a real war, and it's great to work with Matchroom again. And what's the score now anyway?
One better on Saturday.
Oh.
Cheers. Dave, I remember when obviously we made this fight, we said this is a great fight, a very tough fight, searching for that world title fight. Probably a fight we didn't necessarily need, but one that Tony wanted, and as you said to me earlier, one that has really given him that inspirational factor going into Saturday.
Yeah, Tony's had a couple of marking time fights just to get active and keep busy. But he trains hard, he trains as though he's fighting for a title every fight. So he needs a fight that he can get his teeth into and mentally be ready, you know, to go to war. Whatever it needs to be done, he goes to do. This is a fight that's the problem with the cruiserweight division is people, because they haven't heard the names of the fighters that are in the rankings, they don't rate the fighters. It doesn't mean that they can't fight. It doesn't mean that they're not good fighters. It just means that you've not heard of them. They've not had the big push. They've got names that you can't pronounce. Mastanek's a very good fighter. He's a world level fighter. He's a world class fighter. It's without doubt Tony's toughest fight as a cruiserweight. But I believe that the way that he's performing in the gym, the way that his attitude is, the fights that he's had already at cruiserweight, you know, I think that he's in a good place right now, and he's ready to push on to world level. He's ready to push on for that world title fight. He's one of these fighters that now it's now that he's got to get into that level, and he's got to get those fights. because he works hard in the gym. You know, he's whatever you ask him to do, he does. He's got a great work ethic, and he just wants the fights out. You know, he just wants the fights that are out there that can bring out the best in him. And Saturday night, it's a tough fight. It's a fight that he's mentally got to be on it. He's got to perform. He's got to be disciplined, and ultimately, if he does that, I believe he'll stop Malignaggi. Or it's a points decision, but I think it could go late. It's a very tough fight. It's a real fight.
Thanks, Dave. Matthias, welcome. And everybody talks about this fight potentially being the fight of the night. You ready to go to war on Saturday night?
Witam serdecznie wszystkich. Jest mi niezmiernie miło, że jestem częścią tak dużego wydarzenia sportowego. Jestem gotowy na prawdziwy pojedynek w kategorii Cruiserweight. Byłem już w przeszłości mistrzem Europy. Chcę nim być ponownie. Na treningach przerobiliśmy wszystko to, co założyliśmy. Jestem gotowy. Mam dużo respektu do Toniego, ale tytuł był w Polsce i wróci do Polski.
Hello everyone. It's a big pleasure to be part of the team, be part of the main events. He's ready to get back his former title opponent, and he's ready to fight.
Thank you. Tony, a huge fight for you, one I know you're excited about, and looking forward to the challenge of Malignaggi on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a good fight, genuine 50-50, so you know we'll get to Saturday, let's see what happens. I'm prepared, I'm ready to fight. Fantastic camp, everything's gone well. Bring on Saturday, and good luck to all the boys who are on the card. Let's hope everyone gets home safely Saturday night and Matthias Malignaggi gets knocked out, simple as that. Thank you.
Obviously expecting an aggressive Malignaggi, and obviously studying hard with Dave. Are you expecting exciting all-action fight?
Yeah, I'll be totally honest, I've stopped studying fighters because every time I study them, when I hit them on the chin, they just completely change. So it's just, I've stopped studying them, I'm sick of it. I know what he does well. He knows what I do well. He's a world-class fighter, very good fighter. It's a hard fight. It is what it is. You know, make no qualms. I always show up. I always do it, and I'll do it again Saturday night. Simple as that.
Thank you, Jonathan. Welcome. Obviously, off the back of another huge profile fight recently in Germany, and another big profile fight and a huge crowd and a huge opportunity for Dillian Whyte on Saturday night.
It's always good to be in the UK. It's going to be a great fight. I believe it'll be a great fight Saturday night. This is boxing. Boxing is the art. You got two artists painting stories on the canvas that will be forever remembered throughout history. So that's the sport that I love so much. So I'm looking forward to Saturday night, definitely.
Obviously, I know no game plan's given away, but what do you feel will be the difference on Saturday night?
I mean, I don't know. Game plans doesn't really matter. I mean, especially at this stage because it's so close to the fight. But basically Saturday night, I mean, it's a boxing match. So that's the goal. The goal is to go out and show a good boxing match, show good timing, good rhythm, and good speed.
Dillian, obviously a huge profile fight, a lot of attention been on the fight, and now just a couple of days away now, everyone's looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a big fight. I'm glad to be a part of such a big fight within my 17th fight in my career. I train hard and I can't wait to smash this robot to pieces. Simple as that.
Obviously, Jonathan, not going into tactics too much, how do you see the fight playing out? Sorry, this was for Dillian. Sorry, Jonathan wouldn't go into tactics, but Dillian, how do you see the fight playing out on Saturday night?
It's as simple. I grew up around big guys, I got big brothers, I got big friends. And for me, with most big guys, is when you put it on them in life, a lot of them crumble and fold under pressure. It's natural. A lot of big guys, they have not a soft up biggest in the class, the biggest in all their friends, so they never ever get picked on or touched or have to defend themselves too much. A lot of people cower under their size. So when somebody actually stand up to them and put it on them and take it to them, in history, a lot of them crumble. And I think that's exactly what's up on Saturday night. I train hard, I'm in shape, I'm coming to destroy this man. You know, I'm going to destroy this man. Hearn made a big mistake taking this fight, 100%.
Haven't quite come with obviously the desire that you have. You believe you're the man to do what you say and stick it on Anthony on Saturday.
I'm not old, man. I got ambition. I'm undefeated. I beat everyone I fought damage and professional. Listen, I believe I can be a real champion. I believe I'll be a real champion, and this is just the start of it. So I gotta go in there, listen to what my coach says, and do what I do naturally. And what I do naturally is to fight. You know, obviously, we'll box and we'll fight. I just gotta, you know, whatever it takes. If I gotta fight, then I'll fight. If I gotta box, then I'll box. You know, if I gotta go out there and try and rip his heads off his shoulders early, then I'll do that. If I gotta box the 12-round decision, then I'll do that.
Thank you. Anthony? You know, through your own ability, fairly routine, how excited are you to face a real test on Saturday night and a real fight?
No disrespect to any fighter, but a real test would be someone like the fighters that just fought the other weekend, Klitschko's, Fury, you know, the Hayes of the world. They're elite fighters, me, getting the prospects coming up, so I'm just excited to push on really, just to do my job. It's what I train for, so I'm just happy doing what I do day in and day out. It's what I dedicate my life to. So it's just routine, no change, routine. So routine stuff.
Thank you. As always, wouldn't be possible without our exclusive broadcast partners. I'm going to pass over to the head of boxing at Sky Sports, Adam Smith, for a few words and some questions for the table.
Thanks, Eddie. Hope you're all enjoying the programming in the build-up to this. The gloves are off with obviously both. It really is a pre-Christmas cracker, excuse the cliche. I just want to ask a couple of the boys some questions before we get on to the main one, the heavyweights. I'll start with Luke. Luke, obviously, with Anthony Crolla and his phenomenal performance in Manchester the other week. We've got Kevin Mitchell in this terrific fight. I know you've been working with Kevin. I mean, how much does that inspire you to see the lightweight division just sparking probably more than any other division? And how close do you think you are to challenging those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely inspired by the boys that are winning the belts at the minute. You know, I'm ringside for when Crawler is, and you know, I've got all respect for Crawler, and you know, for me, it's just I need to go out there on Saturday, prove myself, put a great performance on, and then step up again and show everyone that I am ready for them guys, and you know, when I do fight them, you know, I'm going to beat them all.
You've got a tough challenge in front of you. What about Kevin Mitchell in with this Ismael Barroso? That's a good fight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great fight. I don't know much about his opponent. I know he's got a very high knockout record. But you know, I know Kevin is as tough as they come. You know, he's experienced all the wars. You know, and he's come through them. He can punch himself. You know, and he's very good at what he does. So I believe Kevin will go in there and get the win and move on. And you know, that fight, if he fights Crawler, then you know, I think that's another massive fight for Britain.
Are you confident of being the last man standing amongst these great lightweights?
Oh, most definitely. You know, I have confidence in myself. You know, I live and breathe this sport. It's the only thing I've ever done. It's the only thing I'm good at. So yeah, you know, I want to be the best at it.
So Paulie Malignaggi is not just good at fighting, he's pretty good at talking as well. Welcome back, Paulie. One thing I want to know, obviously you're doing some work alongside us here, as you have done over the last couple of years, and we appreciate that. How much do you want to box? How important is it for you to keep going in your heart? And we saw the Danny Garcia fight, obviously. How much more do you want of this in the ring, Paulie?
You know, I always get asked that question, and I always tell people that I'm at a stage in my career where I take it one fight at a time, but I'm pretty confident in saying that no matter what, 2016, I won't box past 2016. I want to give it one more run, but I want to be able to dedicate myself the right way to it, you know. I felt like the Danny Garcia fight over a 1.5-year layoff and very little sparring. Hindsight being 2020 wasn't the best idea. Before that, obviously, it sounded great, and you get a big money offer, a big opportunity, and you think you can be ready for it. But you know, again, it's part of the reason why I was so ticked off at Bronco, because if I would have got the Bronco fight in the spring, I would have dusted him off, gotten my comeback fight out of the way and warm up, and kind of cruised into a fight with Danny Garcia under the proper circumstances, you know. Garcia's a great fighter, you know. You want to be able to be at your best when you fight him, and that's not making excuses. I just have to call it like it is. I want to fight, I want to do it the right way though, and I think if I can dedicate myself, I can make one more run.
Do you want to be world champion again? Do you think you can be, or is that not a, you know you wanted the European title, but can you rule the world again, or is that not an option, you think?
I think I want to chase big fights when they present themselves. I think they can present themselves if I get some wins. I think this fight included. You know, there's a lot of possibilities back in the States. Obviously, there's possibilities in Europe. World championships, obviously, there. With Mayweather possibly having retired, I would assume that the titles would become vacant. So I think there's possibilities out there for title fights or big fights. I don't know exactly what I'm chasing. I guess I want to be in the moment, and I want to be in the big moment. I enjoy the adrenaline rush of the big fights and the big lights. I guess every fighter has a hard time letting that go. But again, I don't want to go past 2016. But I do want to chase that greatness for just a little while longer.
It's great to have you here. Somebody who's been flying or travelling across the pond a little bit lately, Tony Bellew. Just want to ask you, Tony, and obviously you've got this starring role, and I've seen a sneak preview and it's pretty good in Creed. How important is it for you, though, to realise your real dream, which is to become a world champion and not quite sort of leave us for Hollywood just yet?
I have no intentions of doing that, Adam, in all honesty. It was an honour to do what I've done, but just because you do something once, that doesn't mean that's what you are, you know. I like to have a sing on the karaoke, but that doesn't make me a singer. You know, I dance once every blue moon, I'm not a dancer, so I've acted once, I thoroughly enjoyed my part, but ultimately, I mean, life's about fighting, it always has been, and that's how I provide for my 3 kids, and that's all I want to do. I just want to be a world champion. I'm good enough. And you know, I'm just looking forward to Saturday night. Like I said, it's a hard fight. I know what I'm in for, but I know what it takes.
Let's move on to the heavyweights. Quick line from Nisse about Derek Chisora, who's been added to the bill. Obviously, he wants to get into this amazing mix after what happened to Tyson Fury the other week, and the boys up here, and David Haye coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Derek, it's always been the case of he needs to keep busy. He needs to keep in the fighting frame of mind, eating up a lot. So, I mean, there's definitely a place
in allowing NC Joshua to share a ring with you again. It's taken you back to 2009. We have seen the crackling footage a little bit in the last couple of weeks. Do you think it's a case of what you did then, you're going to do again? You're going to take the fight to him, bullying him, and possibly knock him down?
With anybody getting in the ring, there's a high possibility of him getting knocked down. I get knocked out. That was 2009. I don't take much away from that fight. The only thing I take away from that fight is the way he was fighting. You know what I mean? If it wasn't a technical fight, it was both scrapping. And if you look at the fight, he was the one that was backing down. It was not that technique. He was the one that was backing down. You can train, you can gain as much muscle as you want, you can get as much experience as you want. But there's one thing you can never change is your heart. You can change your mindset a little bit, but it's your heart. And I just think his heart's a bit weak. And if there's one thing that I have is a hell of a heart. You can ask anyone that knows me, anyone that's been around me, anyone that's seen me. One thing I have, and I will show Saturday night, is that. But you know, no, I've improved a lot. I'm a lot more technically. I'm better. I'm sound. I'm a better fighter, stronger fighter, faster fighter. So, you know, I've got the base solid. And now I'm just building on the base. You know, and his base is weak.
Is that what you came away with, thinking that he hasn't got the heart for a real battle?
Listen, if you watch his fights, anybody, even when Matt Skelton took it to him, he shied away, and Matt was hitting with punches. You know, he doesn't want to get in no trenches in a fight. He wants to try and keep it low, and just he wants to do what he wants to do. Anybody that makes take that away from him, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say anymore. You see what happens Saturday night.
You did give each other a hug after that fight. There was respect at the end. That's obviously all gone out the window. No love lost in the build-up. Why has that totally changed?
Because obviously it's people around him, the psychology people must have told him some stuff, you know, to help him get over the fight mentally at the time. And I think he just taking that approach and said some crazy stuff about me, which is unnecessary. We boxed. I left it as that. You know, I fought for people and beating them, and I've been cool with them. But this fella It was alright, and then all of a sudden he just I think because we were losing camp with Vladimir, I was you know, I was a little bit aggressive basically towards him, and then it got squashed. Not squashed, but it got calmed down, and we got told, Dave Osoko, we're here to help Vladimir get ready for the fight. And then I think he took my kindness for weakness at the time, so as soon as he came back from camp, he said all those things about me, so I was like, that's really weird. He was alright a couple weeks ago, he said, why would he change all of a sudden? So I think because I was a little bit nice to him, he took it for weaknesses. So.
And finally, do you think you've been disrespected and underestimated in the build-up to this? You know, we've seen the odds, we've seen the fact that people think Anthony's going to stop you and maybe stop you quickly. Do you feel that people have got this all wrong? I mean, we saw 2 weeks ago with Fury and Klitschko, few thought Fury would do that.
To me, it doesn't matter what people say or what people think. I've always been an underdog in most circumstances in my life, and I keep prevailing and keep proving people wrong. People say I'm not going to make it, and look who I am. I haven't made it yet, but look who I am today. You know, within the space of 12, 13 months, look who I am. I'm one of the biggest fighters in sports history. I don't care what anybody says. All that matters to me is what's in here and what's in here. That's it. Nothing else matters. They can say what they want. These bookies, they're just people that crunch numbers. A lot of these people are saying these things. They don't know to box, they don't know to fight. They've never been hit by me, and I've been in the ring with me, so it doesn't matter to me. All that matters is what I believe, and this man here believe on my left, and the team around me. That's all that matters. I don't care about what people say.
Jonathan, you obviously believe in Dillian, you're right behind him. We were over in Austria and Vladimir was saying that Anthony Joshua is going to be almost the heir apparent, but you believe differently. You're with this guy. Why do you think DILLIAN WHYTE has got the tools to derail Anthony Joshua on Saturday?
I mean, to me, it's not about if I do or don't believe if Anthony Joshua will go prevail and be the heir of the heavyweight division. I think both guys are very, very proper prospects in boxing, and they're about to fight at a high level. And what make the fight, to me, what make the fight so great is neither fighter has fought an opponent like they're about to fight on Saturday. So it doesn't matter what could have, should have, or would have happened, no matter how you put it. Neither fighter has fought to the caliber of their opponent on Saturday night. So what you're gonna see on Saturday night is you're gonna see all courage and all heart, and you can see a bunch of hatred put together in a beautiful boxing match. Well, I think hatred should be put anyway. If you hate somebody, if you want to fight them, go to the ring and settle it there. And I think that's what's gonna make this fight so great. Both of them want to win. Both of them went out their way to get in the best shape they possibly could get in. I mean, yes, everybody say this is another day in office, this is just a fight, but obviously this is something different. Because neither one of them has fought someone in their career of this caliber, of this undefeated record, and that they extremely hated. So both of them went out their way to get ready for this fight. That's the reality of it. And also the reality of it is they both go bring everything they can to the ring on Saturday night. And that's what, to me, that's what makes me excited about the fight, and that's what's gonna make the fight so beautiful.
Is Jonathan right, Anthony, that this is the most dangerous test yet for you, and that you are in with somebody who is young, who's hungry, who's unbeaten, who can punch, and has obviously got a win over you before?
He's a good fighter. I can tell you more about it Sunday. What can I say about Dillian? What can I say? Just another fighter. I told you from time and time again. My heart don't beat no fear for this kid. It's another fighter for me, that's all. I've said it time and time again. I don't know what else I can say.
He's talking about the amateur days, the fact that he saw something there, the heart. What did you walk out away from that arena that night?
So
what were you thinking?
Yeah, so the amateur fight was, as you said, when was it? 2009 October. He said it on the gloves are off, so I was thinking, God, 2009, late on, 10, 11, 12 Olympics, so it was quite a quick amateur career, so you can see the lack of experience. We fought, you know, I brought some people with me because my first 2 fights are knockouts. So when I first started boxing, I thought I was a man. I knocked out my first 2 opponents and I fought Dillian, who was very experienced, and he had the ring generalship as a kickboxer. I took him to the ring. So we fought, you know, he knocked me down. My heart had the courage to pick myself up and fight on to the final bell. And it made me realize, you know, I need to step my game up if I want to fight guys at that level. I didn't know what level he was then until I found out later. I thought Dillian's a good fighter at the time. So I wanted to step my game up, cracked on, added a bit more to my game, and carried on my career to which that's where we are now. And that's kind of where it left at the amateur club. And what that done for me is just showed me if I want to be better and be good at my craft, I just need to up my game if I want to compete at a high level. And that's kind of who I built myself into so far.
So we've all been watching it in the build-up. Have you been watching the old amateur fight, or is that just raw novices and this is totally different?
I was a raw novice, of course, because I trained for 6 months. I was on tag at the time, so I couldn't even train the full time. I had to leave the gym at 7:30 to get home for 8. Stuff like that. I was training for 6 months and then I just ended up fighting. I had 2 fights and I had my 3rd fight in 2009 against him. 5-year, I think, and I was told he was a 5-year champion kickboxer. So for me, it showed me, you know what, I'm not good enough, but I can compete at this level. Alright, I made some mistakes, I got knocked down, but I've got the courage to get myself up and fight on. So what do? I go back to the drawing board, add a bit more arsenal to my game, and try and build myself as a fighter, as a man. And that's why I am here now. That's all it is, it's simple. And that's why I see Dillian as a simple trainer, because I take everything that I do, I don't really overload it, get aggressive. I want to talk about scrapping in Sky Sports, all that rubbish, it's all irrelevant. It's just a fight, I'll pick up the belt and move on. There's no big deal.
Listen, you give it and you're going to give this bad boy, so when
talk
I say
to me,
to you, when I
in what sense though?
listen,
Explain yourself, when you talk, explain
when
yourself.
When I say to you, you want to fight, it's as simple as that. Don't talk.
December 12th, of course, that's what I'm saying
I'm going to
now.
give you something. You see, after the fight finishes in December 12th,
You always jump onto the next
after the
subject.
fight finishes December 12th, that's not the end of it. I'm going to find you and we're going to have a straight down. Trust me. And like real one, old school straight down the draw. Trust me.
Don't talk too much, and I always say to everyone, just compose yourself. I told you so. Just compose yourself.
My problem is you're fraud.
Okay, it's your opinion.
You're going like you're this nice guy and you're a scum.
But I thought I was a bad boy a minute ago. I'm going like I'm a bad boy, now I'm going like I'm a nice guy. Think about this and just compose yourself. It's only a fight.
Listen,
I'm saying, don't let it cloud your judgment or your mentality. It's only a fight. You're supposed to be good at what you do. Keep it professional. Keep it professional. You know, we're supposed to fight September, man. It's no big deal for me to fight.
I'm take a fight with a broken hand.
You talk a good game. I said, let's fight September. Then you come up with an excuse in your hand.
Listen, I'm not Kevin Johnson and sit around and wait over a year.
You're talking that you couldn't touch Kevin Johnson when you spar him. How radiant it's too early.
Kevin will stop you up.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Kevin will stop you up.
But you talk.
Kevin never trained you. Ask Clifton Mitchell over there. Kevin trained me.
My advice for you is
ask Clifton and Kevin
the fight's here. The fight's here.
Kevin's show. I'm not Kevin Johnson.
You've got your people coming in. They're gonna do your job. You're gonna whatever that's gonna get you. You're gonna win on that. Just wait a few more days and you can chill out. It's only a fight. It's no big deal. We go to war. We go trenches. We can box. It's no big deal.
Listen, you're not going to know what. You're going to come out, stand stiff, move like a robot, try and put it on me, and then what's going to happen when I'm still there, smiling at you like I am now?
Then you're going to keep getting hit with left and right.
That's fine, that's fine.
It's not complicated.
I don't mind getting hit with left and right.
That's stupid, that's not art. You're with a world-class trainer. You're with a world-class trainer, he can teach you that. It's science of boxing.
Where's the trainer? Where's Robert McCracken?
Tony Sims, Robert McCracken. I've got big respect for those guys who saw me through.
Why is Rob not
He's in Sheffield with the Olympics.
Okay, alright, cool.
Doing his job.
Okay, cool.
Guys, you both 100% physically and mentally fit.
Yeah, definitely.
Both of you, no problems?
Easy.
Injuries, no problems, everything fine?
Is your heart?
Shoulders good?
Is your heart good?
Shoulders good?
Is your heart good?
I asked you, you're a doctor.
Is your heart good?
You're a doctor.
I don't think you're a doctor, you're told that you're loaded on steroids. You know what happened to you got some steroids?
You're the one who got a 2-year ban. That's what I'm trying to say.
I got 2 years back. You know that kind of thing. I said it drugs, but
why are you snitching?
you're not snitching at me.
Let's not talk about it.
Guys, the JP squad getting paid, government money went and I take it to sell drugs.
Guys.
And then you go on and you tell everybody, I'm not worried.
This is the professional arena. The British and Commonwealth heavyweight titles are on the line. Anthony, it's a long list. Henry Cooper, Lennox Lewis, Joe Bugner, Tommy Farr, names like that. To become the British and Commonwealth champion, what would that mean?
Oh man, it's for the nation, man. So I was in a car and then we're talking, I've got a job to do for public reasons and so on, but I don't really like to entertain the hype too much. But we're saying that it's true. This is a big title, but it's for the nation, so they embrace it. Bring the hype. We've got loads of people, it's a sold out arena. entertain people, and you know, it's a real honour to be fighting for the British title against one of my old amateur rivals with history. And I've always said that, you know, I want to fight for the Commonwealth, the British, the European, and do it the traditional way. So, you know, I'm trying to be a man of my word. You know, there's always other opportunities. Eddie's doing a great job. I take my hat off to him and a lot of people that I'm working with because they're pushing me in the right direction. So there's other opportunities that have presented themselves. But Eddie, you know, and myself and my team have said, no, let's do it the traditional way. Let's take time. You know, you need to build and let's get this British title as you said you would. And that's all. So it's a real honour to be able to stick to my word and fight for such a great title and do it in my hometown.
And Dylan, if you could win the British title, what would it mean after the road that you've travelled?
It'd be amazing. It'd be a step closer to where I want to be. But like, as a British fighter, British title means more to us than the world title. It's bragging rights. You're the champion of your country. To be British champion would be amazing. You know what I mean? I've been like the first person of my whole family to win a British title. Even though my dad and my granddad boxed, but you know, it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
Prediction time, Dylan first.
Why me first?
Why not?
It's his show, let me speak.
Absolutely first, if you want to go first.
I trained for a 12-round fight, but I think it won't go there. I said about 3 or 4 rounds. And that's a prediction.
You just made a prediction, that's fine, I don't need to say anything more.
That's fine, that's my prediction. Anyone else got any other predictions? What's everyone saying? Knockout or points? Knockout.
Knockout.
That's good.
I think the fight is going to come down to who's the most mentally tough.
Yeah.
Whoever can take it in that dark waters is going to win the fight. If Dylan don't stick to the plan that MJD worked out.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's later on in the fight. So that's later on in the fight when, because we never, you've gone rounds. You've done what, 12 rounds before 10 rounds with one of your opponents. Because you haven't got all knockouts on your record. So yeah, we're saying. We're just talking. What is
this? I've got 10 and 12. This is my first.
You know what I'm saying, right?
No.
So you know what you're trying to explain is that later on in the fight.
I don't know what Dylan's prediction is. My prediction is when we go into deep water,
Yeah.
somebody's going to get drowned.
And that's where we're going to see you can swim.
I personally believe it's going to be you. You swear that person.
That's right, soldier. You better tell him.
But that's fine with me. I'm not going to stop saying I'm going to knock out Malik Scott when we get downstairs. You know what I'm saying? It's his opinion. I respect that.
That's right.
So I appreciate that. Anyone else got an opinion? Because it's interesting. We're all here for the same reason. We're all here for the fight.
I will say that Anthony in his 14 wins has gone 25 rounds and Dylan in his 16 wins has gone 44. So it's been short and explosive, hasn't it, so far?
What does that mean?
No, I've just gone less rounds. I've knocked out opponents quicker than you.
That's fine.
That's all it means.
So what?
That's what I'm saying.
What does it mean?
You asked what it means, and that's what it means. You just knocked out opponents.
That's fine.
But that's the good thing about heavyweight boxing is that every fighter, every heavyweight on their record, from whether they're ranked in the top 500, they've all got power, they've all got knockouts on their record. It's no different. Fighters who I fought with less ability than him have got knockouts on their record. It's the heavyweight division, and that's what makes it so explosive and such an amazing division in itself.
You spoke a lot today. What did you find some confidence over the weekend or something?
I'm just talking boxing, and this is what I
Normally
love.
really boring and suck, to be honest. Like, I'm actually glad that you spoke today. This press conference will get a few hits now. Last time you was here, you were just nervous, like you were just sitting on this.
I told you my heart beats no fear for you. When I'm around you, my heart doesn't beat no fear.
Your heart don't need to be
Or
fear from me. I
nerves.
see it in your eyes.
Or nerves.
I know you're kind.
Or nerves.
I know you're kind. Trust me.
Okay.
I know you're kind.
Okay.
And you know it as well.
Okay.
You know it.
Keep on talking.
That's cool, bro. That's cool.
As you could imagine, for a vacant title.
We got options in the referee, so we're not going to get one that we need 3 little fast punches going to step in and stop it.
You worried?
So, can't tell you about that.
We talking about referees for?
Because that's what happens. Look at most of your knockouts. Who have you knocked out clean and they stay down and they've been knocked out clean? Nobody. You get on the ropes, you throw some little punches, the referee jumps in and stop it. When I hit people, they go down. They go
If
to
anyone
sleep.
was complaining, then O2 wouldn't be a sold out arena anyway. That's what people want to see, is people getting knocked out. People are enjoying it. That's what we
Tell them to stop giving the referees a little bit extra change and stuff like that.
This is a professional sport, you know that, man. You're smart.
Everybody here know boxing works as well.
You're smart, man.
I know, I want to see this fight now.
Okay, I think everyone wants to see it. We're not going to have any problems.
No, I really want to see it.
We're not going to have any problems with people wanting to see this fight. The O2 sold out in 3.5 hours. This is going to do big numbers. But, as you can imagine, it wasn't particularly easy for a vacant title deciding who would walk first or second. So we decided we would toss a coin. The winner will get the choice to walk first or second. If you walk first, you will be introduced second. If you walk second, you will be introduced first. Michael Buffer. Check the coin. Who's got a coin for Michael Buffer?
I don't need to toss number. If you want to walk second first, that to me, it's irrelevant.
Why are you still talking? Let the man
It's irrelevant. What do you want to do?
Calm down, man.
When do you want to walk? When do you want to walk? It's irrelevant.
Hey, Michael, you said you walk first. There you go, that's what you said you walk first.
He'll let you walk second. You okay with that?
I'm cool.
Irrelevant to me.
Let's go, there you go. No need for it.
No toss required, Michael, sorry.
All right, well,
Do we get a discount on your fee?
We're going to flip a coin, right? But do we have to flip a coin to see who calls heads or tails first? Okay.
It's
who makes the call?
Anthony gave him the privilege.
It's over.
It's irrelevant to me.
You're going to make the call,
No, it's over. The private deal. Anthony's given him the privilege to walk second.
No problem. I just made a few bucks here.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event, the British and Commonwealth heavyweight titles. Oh yes.
Thank you.
17,000 people. Imagine the anticipation when the Hall of Fame MC, let's get ready to rumble, let's go. Yes, Malik.
If AJ is lucky enough, if he is lucky enough to get past Bill on Saturday night, do you plan on going?
If
Let the man talk. So if he's lucky enough to get past Dylan, do you have plans on him going straight to Fury or going straight?
Let's focus on Saturday.
No. And that's why I'm talking to Hearn.
Let's just focus on Saturday.
Hearn, or do you plan that, or do you plan on having him fight?
I know this is a real fight, and I know that everything depends on Saturday night.
That's why I say
that's what I'm saying. Listen,
not looking past Saturday night.
Don't worry about what
So enjoy it. Enjoy the spectacle, and enjoy two very talented heavyweights going to war on Saturday.
That's my say.
Do you want me to get some questions from the press here? Does anybody have any questions for?
You know that. I dictate what I want to do with my career. You know that. So I'll tell you, let's just focus on Saturday.
We're gonna break the tables. We're gonna have head-to-heads up here, and tomorrow at the weigh-in, Indigo at 1 p.m. Fan zone starts at 12. It's going to be absolutely rammed. Get there early. We only can hold about 1,500. It's going to be full up by 12:30. So enjoy the show and roll on Saturday night, baby.
William Hill Vegas sponsors Joshua vs. White on Sky Sports Box Office.